Alright guys, are you into the Bauhaus style? Do you like Nomos watches but find them a little bit on the pricey side, out of your budget, looking for a budget alternative? This could be the one for you. So this is the Feice FM506 and this is an homage of the Nomos Metro. So I've been trying it out for a while. Full disclosure, I was sent a watch for free, don't have to send it back, but you know the score. So I'm going to change the way I do my reviews, going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. So the question is this going to be one that you're going to be interested in? Let's jump right in and find out. So this is the packaging it comes in. Well, this is the inner packaging. The outer packaging is actually this one, the Feice logo on. But quickly go over what else you get in here. So you get a little thank you card, then just the user manual, and here it is. So if you've been around on the channel for a while, like pretty much since the beginning, you've probably seen me review something similar to this before. But that was a really budget piece. I think it was like a £10 watch I reviewed from a Nolo, if I'm right. I'll probably pop something on screen so I can show you what it is. And I might even link to the video somewhere if you do want to check it out. Although I wouldn't recommend buying that one because, as I say, it was £10, so it didn't last a whole lot long. But it had the same kind of look as this. It was another homage of the Nomos Metro. But when it comes to this one, let's start off with the dimensions. So we've got a diameter of 39.9, a thickness of 12.6, a lug width of 20, and the all-important lug to lug is coming in at 46. So a really nice compact lug to lug on that, so it should fit quite a lot of wrist sizes. You'd actually think it was longer than that, given how long it looks, but they do slope down quite nicely, those lugs. So it does fit really nicely, as I say. I'll show you that in a bit. But let's talk about the rest of the watch. So let's get a zoom in on the dial and talk about that. Because with Bauhaus style watches, it's all about the dial. So it's fully printed, nothing applied, red, but it does still look good. There's a few little splashes of colour there. You got that red second hand, then you got those blue dots at the 12, 3 and 9. And obviously you've got that sub-dial at the 6, which is slightly sunken. Then you've just got the Feice branding at the top. It says original below that, but obviously this isn't original because it is an homage. So some people might have an issue with that. I personally don't mind it too much. It's that small that when you're wearing it on wrist you don't really see it anyway. When it comes to the hands, pretty slim, but they're nicely finished. Just simple, as you'd expect with a Bauhaus style watch. When it comes to the case again, same kind of thing. Just simple polishing. Nothing fancy. And you see we've got a really nice dome on that crystal as well. When it comes to the back of it, we've got a display case back. And then the movement in that is the Seagull ST1731. So seeing as we're talking about it, let's show you that in action. Just quickly zoom back out. So if we pop it out once, this is one of the slight issues I've got with this. There's not a defined click when you pull it out. So it's a little difficult sometimes to figure out where it actually is. Yeah, there we go, so I've got it now. So you can change the date, which is the 3 o'clock there. All works well, but as I say, there's no defined click or anything when you're changing to the different functions, so it can be a little awkward to figure out where it is sometimes, but you kind of get used to it after a while. Quickly flicking back around to the back again. You can see we've got the spec sheet around the outside there. So you've got stainless steel, the fact that it's 30 meter water resistant, which isn't a big deal for this kind of style of watch. You're not going to be going swimming with it or anything. Automatic, and then Feice, and then the model number. Oh, also as well, you probably noticed we've got quick release on the bracelet and the strap. so it's always good. So if you do want to swap this strap, you can swap it out pretty quickly and easily. But I think this one suits it quite well, and it's quite soft and supple as well. So I've actually been wearing it on this. I haven't swapped it out for anything else yet, but I might do down the line. Oh, forgot to mention as well, the buckle, we've actually got the Feice branding on there as well, and it is nicely finished. Mixture of brushed and polished. Simple but effective, as pretty much most of the watches. So now, let's talk about that crystal. Let's check out if it is sapphire, using the trusty diamond selector too. And no, we haven't got sapphire crystal, it's just mineral. And that is also mineral as well. So, a little disappointing. It would have been nice to have sapphire, but unfortunately we haven't. Another thing we haven't got is lume. Obviously, with it being this kind of style of watch, it doesn't have any lume at all, so we're not going to be testing that. So all I'll have to do now is show you what it's like on wrist, and then we'll wrap this up. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist, and as I say, with that compact lug to lug and those curved lugs as well, it does conform to my wrist really nicely. And again, really nice soft supple strap. Simple, but suits the watch. Nice bit of detailing on that buckle, just catching the light with those polished details. And again, with it being a fully polished case, it also catches the light quite nicely. Do like that domed crystal. Would have preferred it to be sapphire, but other than that, you can't really fault it for what it is. It's a Bauhaus style, it's a Nomos Metro homage, and I think they've pretty much nailed the look of it. Some people might not like that branding. I personally don't mind that too much. I could have done without the original text underneath, because it obviously isn't original, it's an homage. But other than that, not really any issues. The movement, the functionality between when you're pulling out the crown could be a little bit crisper, more defined clicks, but that's a little bit nitpicky. It works, that's the main thing. But you're probably wondering, how much is all this going to cost you? I don't normally mention the price in the AliExpress reviews I do, and that's because the prices on AliExpress, as you know, vary quite a lot. So I'd normally just leave a link down in the description so you can check it out for yourself. But some people have said, can I start including it? So at the time of filming, this one is going to be £137, $166, €163, which granted isn't cheap for what you're getting, especially when it doesn't have sapphire crystal, but there aren't really any other Nomos Metro homages I've seen on AliExpress. So it's pretty much this one, or that other ridiculously cheap £10 one that I reviewed a while back, which I definitely wouldn't recommend, didn't last very long. So for what it is, I think it's okay value, especially when you compare it to the actual Nomos, which is obviously considerably more. So if you do like this look, you've not really got that many options. Yes, sapphire would have been nicer, but I think it's not a deal breaker for me anyway. But let me know, what do you think? And if this one doesn't do it for you, if you do like the Bauhaus look, I've got reviews of these three down here as well. So I'll leave links to them, probably up here or down in the description, if you want to check them out. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you don't mind having sapphire, not having sapphire, sorry.